Around 1150 AD, two children emerged from the earth itself. Their skin was green. They weren't just unusual, they were an absolute impossibility. From a world beneath, or perhaps beyond our own, they stumbled into the unassuming Suffolk village of Woolpit, forever etching their bizarre story into the annals of English folklore and historical mystery. This wasn't a tale spun by drunken villagers in a smoky tavern. This account comes from two respected chroniclers of the era, Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh. Both men were educated, meticulous, and recorded the events as fact, not fantasy. The year was somewhere between 1150 and 1173, during the reign of King Stephen. The harvest season was in full swing. Farmers toiled in the fields near Woolpit, a small village named for its ancient wolf pits used to trap predators. It was then that the unexpected occurred. From one of these very wolf pits, not a wolf, but two small children emerged. A boy and a girl, both with skin an unmistakable shade of green. They spoke a language no one understood. Their clothes were made of unfamiliar materials, unlike anything known in Suffolk. They were terrified, bewildered, and utterly alien to the simple country folk who discovered them. Sir Richard de Calney, the local lord of the manor, took them in. He was a man of some education and compassion. He offered them food, but they refused everything presented: bread, meat, milk. They seemed to starve by choice. For days they ate nothing. It seemed they might perish. Then someone brought them fresh, uncooked broad beans, still in their pods. The children seized them, tearing at the stalks, convinced the food was inside the hollow stems. Once they learned how to shell the beans, this became their sole sustenance for many months. Slowly, painstakingly, they began to adapt. They started to learn English, and as they did, their green hue began to fade. The boy, however, fell ill first. He was weaker than his sister, more fragile, and less able to cope with the transition. He soon succumbed to an unknown illness and died, leaving his sister alone in this strange new world. The girl, now named Agnes, continued to thrive. Her green skin eventually vanished completely, replaced by a normal, rosy complexion. She learned to speak fluent English, allowing her to finally explain their origins. She said they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a subterranean world where the sun never shone. It was a place of perpetual twilight, illuminated by a faint, ethereal glow, and all its inhabitants were green. They were tending their flocks when they heard a great noise, like bells. Following the sound, they entered a cavern, and after wandering through its winding passages for what felt like an eternity, they emerged into the blinding sunlight of Woolpit. Agnes lived a long life in Woolpit. She was even said to have married a man from King's Lynn and had children. This detail, recorded by William of Newburgh, adds a powerful layer of credibility to an otherwise fantastical account. So, what are we to make of this extraordinary story? Was it a literal account of visitors from an inner earth, or perhaps another dimension? The medieval chroniclers certainly believed it to be so. Modern interpretations, however, offer more grounded, albeit still speculative, explanations. One popular theory suggests the children were Flemings, immigrants from Flanders, who had been orphaned or abandoned. During the 12th century, there was significant persecution of Flemish immigrants in England. Many were slaughtered, their communities dispersed. The children might have fled into the forests or hidden in underground passages. Their green skin could be attributed to chloroses, a form of severe anemia caused by malnutrition. This condition results in a greenish pallor and can be brought on by a diet consisting almost solely of, say, broad beans. Their strange language might have simply been Flemish, spoken with an unfamiliar dialect or accent, sounding utterly alien to the Suffolk villagers. Their St. Martin's Land could have been a misremembered or poetic description of their homeland. The great noise and the cavern could have been the sounds of battle or persecution, forcing them into hiding in a disused mine or a series of tunnels, eventually leading them out into the unfamiliar fields of Woolpit. Another, perhaps less charitable, theory suggests the entire story is a morality tale or a folk tale, embellished over time. Medieval chronicles often contained such narratives, blending fact with allegory. However, the specificity of the details, the names, the location, and the fact that two separate chroniclers recorded it lends significant weight to the idea that something truly unusual happened in Woolpit that day. Was it a medical anomaly, a cultural misunderstanding, or something far more profound? The Green Children of Woolpit remain a tantalizing enigma, a whisper from a distant past that continues to challenge our understanding of reality. Their story forces us to consider the limits of our knowledge, the possibility of the impossible, and the enduring power of a mystery that refuses to be fully explained. It's a reminder that history holds secrets we may never fully unravel. Explore another historical enigma with our deep dive into the unexplained disappearance of the Roanoke colony.